Hello, hello. Hey, Choose Life Nation. This is Dallas Cohen, the Rebound Coach, and you are watching or listening to another episode of the Rebound Coach Live. I'm so glad you're here today. If this is your first time, or even if it's your 15th, 100th time, thank you so much for sharing virtual space with me. Thank you for taking a moment of your life to invest in yourself. And I hope tonight's episode is going to be something that blesses you. I don't know about you guys, but every so often I find myself wondering, when's it going to be my turn? And maybe that happens to you too, where you're watching people do well in life. You're watching people get promotions. You're watching people succeed in business. You're watching people do well in their relationships. Maybe someone gets married or gets pregnant or has a baby or graduates or whatever it is. And you're on social media where we watch people live their lives and silently wonder, when is it going to be my turn? If this is your first time hanging out with me or coming on the Rebound Coach Live, welcome. I'm super glad you're here. Here's a little bit about why we're spending time together today. You guys, I was married 10 years to this man who wanted me dead. And that's never an easy thing to say, no matter how many times I say it. Didn't make sense for someone like me who was raised in a good Christian home. Parents who loved God, loved each other, were married for a lifetime. And that is not the statistic that equals someone growing up and choosing an abuser. But that's what happened to me. At the same time, I had a good marital example in my parents, but I was also molested from the time I was 8 to the time I was 16. And that really radically affects how you see yourself and a household of faith, how you relate to God and how you relate to men. And so fast forward, when I met the man that I married and eventually divorced, there were red flags. There were reasons not to be together. But as a praying woman, I believed God's answer was yes. And because of that, I believed whatever was going to happen, we'd overcome it, we'd outlast it. God would swoop in and save the day. And he did those things, just not in the way I was anticipating. We had unfortunately got into this cycle of coping and crisis where, you never quite get to happy. You're just kind of barely making it. And then a crisis comes and tears all of that up. And you have to very carefully rearrange your life back into the coping mode. And we had done that dance for the better part of 10 years, definitely over 9 years. And everything came to a halt and we got into the biggest crisis we'd ever had. He left for another woman. And I found out the day after he left that he and that woman had been plotting my murder for months by the time I found out about it. And of course, like everything in your life is kind of like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. And you're threatened as a woman, as a wife, as a mom, as a child of God, but also as a coach. I've been a life coach for over 20 years. And I was coaching relationships and marriage for about 5 or 6 years by that time. So if you can imagine building an entire identity, a platform around the idea of staying married, being married, staying married, is that's God's only solution. And that's where I was. And that was the very thing that was falling around at my feet. And it wasn't something I was going to be able to keep a secret for very long. And I had really important questions to answer. I really could allow the identity that my ex-husband had planned for me, and quite frankly, the one I had agreed to tell me who I was, how I was allowed to believe, how I was allowed to express myself as a woman, how many days I had left on the planet, or I could choose life. And through a series of divine, and I mean divine events, it's outrageous. I'm alive here today with you. My children and I are safe. We are growing, relearning, unlearning, relearning, and charting new territory, and making a new legacy for ourselves. And so out of that entire experience, I wrote a book. It's my second book, y'all. And it's called I Choose Life. rewrite your love story and change your legacy. And this is not just my story. It is my story, but it's not just my story. It is a life map and a strategy and a pathway for anyone who has experienced betrayal, trauma, or abuse, and those who love people who have experienced betrayal, trauma, and abuse. This is the time for giving. This is the time where people are buying gifts. If you have someone that you love, someone that you're purchasing a gift for, who has experienced abuse, not just abusive marriages, but abuse in a family dynamic, in a church dynamic, anywhere, because any human can abuse any other human, you need this book. You can get your copy of this book at thereboundcoach.com/book. There it is. thereboundcoach.com/book. You can get a physical copy that I will sign for you and write you a love note right in the front. Or you can go to Amazon and get a copy from there. They will send one to you. Or you can get an ebook from there also. Again, that is thereboundcoach.com/book. You can get a book. Okay, so y'all, these topics, if you've hung out with me for any amount of time, you know that these topics come from life, real life, specifically my life. So y'all, I was watching somebody win, and I cheer people on, and I was cheering this person on, and I'm so glad that they are winning in the way that they're winning. But I promise you, in my heart of hearts, I said, when is it going to be my turn? And the question I think we all ask ourselves, when is it going to be my turn? And the truth is, we're about to face 2024, right? It's almost here. And this is the time people make all sorts of decisions about their lives. And this is what I want my year to look like. And this is the kind of person I want to be in the next year. And this is the kind of relationships and the money goals and all the things, right? When we take the time to set goals, number one, that is like step one. You have to actually know what the heck you want. But when we take the time to set goals, we have major ambitions. And if you're like me, if you're hanging out over here at thereboundcoach.com, we are movers and shakers. We are high achieving women. We've been through a lot, but we are doing a lot. And so salute to all the breathless mothers this time of year, where we're running, because I'm with you, running, and getting stuff done and feeling like you're not getting stuff done, but you are, and creating great memories for the people in your care, for your children, for your family members, creating memories that last. And I just want to salute you, because it's a worthy endeavor. It's a breathless endeavor. And I know, because I feel it myself. Celebrations aren't celebrations by accident, right? There's a lot of care and effort that come into holiday traditions. Me and my family just celebrated Hanukkah. And there's a lot that goes into making those memories. So I just want to say, good job, mom. Good job, wife. Good job, woman. If you are, doing what it takes to make the people around you feel loved, good job. So pat yourself on the back. Just wanted to say that as a side note. But we look into 2024 or any new season. Maybe you have a milestone birthday coming up, or one that just passed, and you looked toward the rest of your life and said, you know what? When's it going to be my turn? Right? When's it going to be my turn? When is it going to get good for me? You might be at a place where you're just not satisfied. You might be at a place where you're like, what is this all for? What is it all for? Right? Us who have been through betrayal and trauma and abuse have learned how to survive very well. We have very well developed survival skills. And that's really good in the season where we need to survive. But after we have survived, all right, we're safe, but the skills we developed are for keeping ourselves safe, the perceived way, right? So We're doing everything we can, everything we understand to keep ourselves safe. That is almost antithetical, almost opposite of progressing. Okay, so you can keep yourself safe or you can progress. Those are a different set of skills. And so because we only learn survival, right? We're going to put the effort in and take the risk of progressing, or are we going to continue to survive? I can tell you, just from my own experience, even as we're looking at, okay, I'd like to accomplish whatever goal it is, I'd like to accomplish this. And so you start taking steps to go find out what it takes to do that thing. And what it used to take, it's not the same. You're like, but I used to do this and it used to be so easy. And why is this so much more difficult? Now, here's your choice, right? Here's your choice. You can learn the difficult thing to continue. You can find an alternative route to do the thing you want to get done, which is maybe something you haven't learned before, maybe something you haven't done before. Or you procrastinate and complain and wish it were as simple as it used to be. Selah. I'm just going to let that sit there. Just going to let that sit there. Because here's what I know, that the choice I've made is to complain and wish it were simpler. Like, man, I remember when this was so easy. Why? This is a process right now, just a back-end business process that used to be so easy. And I went and looked at it today, and it is not what it used to be. And so my choices are, I can go study and learn the newly complicated method. I can find a different method to say, like, this is not a thing. I'm going to have to find a new thing, which has its own risk, right? Because it's not as easy as it used to be. I don't understand the new thing. I'm going to have to find something else and build a new, oh my gosh. Or I can complain and procrastinate and wish that it was as simple as it used to be. And I did a little bit of that. Like, I remember when this was so easy. Why is it so hard? What am I going to do? Like, I did some of that. Okay. But we run into this in life. Like, we run into these situations in life. And we run into these three-pronged decisions in life. And if we want what we say we want, the goals, the success, even the things that God has promised us, the Lord has promised us great things. And it requires our movement and our participation. And so many times we just, we participate until it gets hard. We participate until it takes one of those choices, right? I have to learn a hard thing. I have to find a new solution, or I can complain and wish it were simple, right? So we get into that spot where, we might stop. We might stop and say, this is too hard. I wish it were simpler. We might stop and say, I don't know what to do, so I'm not going to do anything. And those things stop our progress. They stop our progress, and it prevents us from experiencing the promises of God, because we are not doing the steps. Now, do I wish it were easier? Yup. Yep. I wish it were easier. But I don't have control of that. What I can say is we have a choice. And I will say that progression is not always a big swoop movement. It can be these tiny little incremental changes consistently that make the difference. And so the truth is, the years don't make the changes. We can say, all right, we're going to go into 2024. It's going to be more in 2024. And it's going to be amazing because magic. It's never amazing because magic. Or it's going to be amazing because 24, number 4 means this. This is what you go to church and they tell you these things. The number 4 means that, and God's going to do this, and he said that, and all the things. I am a firm believer in prophecy. There's still a part for you to do, right? There's still a part for you to do. And so the years don't make the changes. We make the changes. And I would encourage you not to wait for your turn. Don't wait for your turn. Make it your turn. Well, how do I do that, Dallas? That's easier said than done. I got you. Okay, check it out. Here's your steps if you are taking notes. Step number 1, define what you are waiting for and from whom, right? So if you identify with asking the question, when will it be my turn? The question for you is, what exactly are you waiting for a turn for? In the example that sparked this topic, I had to ask myself that. What exactly am I waiting for? Okay. So I'm waiting for a big opportunity. I'm waiting for someone to see me. I'm waiting for someone to appreciate me, or to say that they appreciate me, or to take action that demonstrates they appreciate me. Okay. And who am I asking? Who am I waiting to do that thing? Who? Is it some mysterious person I never quite named? We have these expectations in our minds and hearts. We have them. They do exist. There is a person you're waiting for to do a thing. What is that for you? Are you waiting for someone to notice you and call you beautiful? Are you waiting for someone to want to be in a relationship with you? Are you waiting for someone to recognize your talents and give you money? Are you waiting for someone to hand you a pile of money before you'll take a particular action? Are you waiting for, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? And who are you waiting for? What's going to make it your turn, right? What do you mean when you say, when will it be my turn? When will it be my turn for success? What does success mean? Is that financial security? Is that financial freedom? Is that relationship freedom? Is that love and acceptance? Is that confidence? What does my turn mean? Okay. Get granular on that. Okay. From whom? Again, who determines that it's your turn? And it might be, I'm waiting on my mom to say I'm worthy. I'm waiting on my dad to say, I'm sorry. I'm waiting on my boss to say, you really are amazing and we're going to promote you. Like, what are you waiting for, and who are you waiting for? Who are you waiting to approve you, to tell you you're worth it and you're worthy? Okay. Number 2, what have you allowed to be in your way? So what is the thing that tells you it's not your turn yet? Okay, so this is similar to number 1, but this is about identifying limiting beliefs. What is the thing that tells you, oh, I'm not ready yet for a big opportunity because I haven't done X, Y, Z? You fill in the blank to what that is. Okay, what have you told yourself you can't do? Okay, what have you allowed to be in your way? Okay, what limiting belief have you believed? I can't do it because I haven't done it before. That's one. It's a common one. Or I've failed a bunch of times. Guys, we know in our heads that failure is part of the success equation. It comes before the success equation. You have to fail before you can succeed. Like, this is normal stuff. We understand that, but in our hearts, failure can feel like rejection. It can feel like self-condemnation. It can feel like self-hate. I'm not succeeding, so I must be not worth it. All those things, those are limiting beliefs that we allow to stop us from making it our turn. Okay, our turn for greatness, wealth, success, love, healing, wholeness, fill in the blank, right? Then number 3. So number 1, define what you're waiting for and from whom. Who determines that it's your turn? Number 2, what have you allowed to be in your way? Okay, limiting beliefs that you've believed. Number 3, rebuilding your strategy. Build your strategy. I won't say rebuild, but build your strategy. Okay, what does that mean? All right, so once we know where it is we're going, okay, we know what we're waiting for. We know who we're waiting to approve us. We know what we've allowed to be in our way. and the limiting beliefs that we believed. Now we've got our tools. We can chart the territory. We can chart the strategy for success. You might be like, oh my gosh, that sounds hard. It might be. And I say that because when we only know what we know, it can be hard to see a different perspective, see a different way to getting something done. And that's the benefit of working with a coach, okay, or working with a group, working with Choose Life Nation in particular, because it means that you don't run alone. You don't run alone. And we chart your course together. And so I have a couple opportunities, 3 to be exact, 3 opportunities to walk alongside with me and chart your course, chart your strategy for reclaiming territory in your relationship with yourself. I say that a lot, but people may not understand what that means. When we experience trauma, we lose territory. When someone rejects us, we lose territory in self-confidence. When we fail, we lose territory in self-confidence, right? When we start telling ourselves bad things because we've experienced failure, which is a normal thing, y'all. Failure is a normal thing, right? But reframing that thought, reframing the ideas around that takes intention, it takes effort. And it is an act of reclaiming that territory. Now, I'll tell you, you did have it. You might be like, no, I've been struggling with my confidence forever. I promise you, there isn't a 2-year-old that's not confident, because they learn no and they shout it. No, and they literally call it the terrible twos. Because why? Because kids are confident. Now, they can be confidently wrong, but they are confident, right? And it's hard to dispute that. And they argue with you. Now, I can be dead wrong, but they are arguing. No, mommy, no. I do it myself, right? So kids have confidence, all the kids. And you were once a confident 2 and 3-year-old. Yes, you were. You once were. What happened to that? You lost that territory along the way, and you can reclaim it. Okay? That soul that loved to give love and receive love, that heart of a child who just wasn't afraid, that heart of a child that wasn't afraid to be vulnerable, wasn't afraid to be like, oh, this is what it is, right? You had that territory. Somewhere along the way, you lost it, but you can reclaim it. You can reclaim it. That belief in yourself, you can reclaim it. The love that's surrounding you, that you've always had surrounding you, you can reclaim that. Reclaim feeling loved, feeling secure, feeling seen. You can reclaim all of that. And so I have 3 opportunities to reclaim that territory. Short, long, and longest term experiences. So one is coming up soon. It's coming up at the end of January. It's called First Steps to Success. It is a 3-day seminar happening in Orlando, Florida. And it's where I learn, and it's where I am fed, and it's one of the most amazing communities I've ever experienced. And I always promised that I would share that experience with the people that I get to hang out with for Choose Life Nation. And here we are. So I will be putting information on my website, and I'll put it in the chat also, so you can have access to that. That's number 1. Number 2 is a 3-month, 90-day group coaching experience called Reclaim. When I went to Israel in March of this year, God showed me some very specific paths to reclaiming territory in your relationship with yourself. And I will be walking people on the journey of that reclaim. And starting in February of 2024, we have 10 spots. 2 of them are already taken. So I would highly encourage you to not wait, to do it now. You can put in the chat reclaim. That tells me that you're interested in reclaim, and I will reach out to you and get your spot solidified. Okay, that's 2. And number 3, Sanctuary Experience is coming up in March of 2024. It will be here before you know it. Don't miss your opportunity. The people that experience Sanctuary not just come out different, but continue to come and grow and develop into their best selves, into the selves that they know that they are created to be, they are designed to be, and they desire to be. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm going to share a testimony with you, and then I will be right back. I'm sharing you Sharente's story of her sanctuary experience.
Hi, my name is Sharente Power from Las Vegas, Nevada, and I get to tell you about this wonderful opportunity that I just experienced. Before I came to Sanctuary XP, I was dealing with a lot of hardship. I just recently had appendicitis, COVID, and then a pipe decided to burst in my house, and I've been in relocation for the past 5 months. Things have not looked the same. Things have been very stressful, and I've spiraled so much that I knew that I had to come back to Sanctuary for a second time. I had to come and heal. I had to pour out, because this is where I found sisterhood. This is where I found fun, and this is where I found renewal. And I got all of those things and so much more. I got to bond with people I never knew I'll get to meet, as well as have amazing interactions with the facilitators of the Sanctuary Experience. If you are someone that is in leadership like I'm in leadership, then you know that you need to take the time to rest, have fun, and recharge. If you're a woman listening to this and you vibrate and resonate with feeling overwhelmed, stressed out, and feeling like you're an imposter, this is the experience.
No, don't stop.
Experience for you. Come to the next sanctuary so that you can experience healing, renewal, fun, and sisterhood. This is the community forum.
Okay, guys, I just pressed a button. I was like, no, don't do that. Okay, so you can grab your ticket to Sanctuary at thereboundcoach.com/sanctuary. That is the reboundcoach.com/sanctuary. Don't miss your opportunity, because it's life-changing. It's life-changing, and you only get one life. You only get one life. We don't know when tomorrow. We're not promised tomorrow. We don't know how many tomorrows we get. Okay? What we do know is, what I can tell you is, survival is not thriving. That's not living. That is surviving. And surviving was useful for the time that you needed it. It was useful for that time where you were dealing with trauma and abuse. It was useful, and you needed it. And thank yourself for learning those skills. Thank yourself for using those skills, because it brought you where you are today. But there's a time to move forward. There's a time to reclaim that territory that you lost. There's a time to go deep and get the healing that you need in an experience like Sanctuary Experience. And there's a time to walk every day with those small incremental changes. And that's what Reclaim does, because it's not a 1-day experience or even a 3-day experience. It is a 90-day experience. So you get to walk alongside. I get to walk alongside you in your journey of reclaiming territory. And those incremental changes are celebrated, are noticed, are celebrated, are encouraged. And the trouble that comes, because it does, right? This is life. We get to overcome it together. So again, all you have to do to tell me, hey, I want to know more, is to put in your comments, Reclaim. Okay, that tells me, hey, I want to know more, and I will get you the information that you need. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so thankful that you spent time with me today. If you're just coming on, we're wrapping up, but feel free to check out the replay, because today was a really, really good one. We talked about, when will it be my turn? So again, thank you so much for coming to spend time with me today. I really, really value your time, and I'd love to know what resonated with you. I'd love to know what you're gonna take from this. Okay, what's gonna be your like aha moment? Like, hey, this works. I'm gonna do this. I'd love to know. I'd love to know. Thank you again for spending time with me. I will not be here on the 27th because it's a holiday week and I want people to enjoy their families and I'd like to enjoy mine. So I will be back starting January the 3rd. Okay. And we'll probably put something up though next week too. We'll put something up. It just won't be live. You all, thank you so much for spending time with me. Thank you for hanging out with me in 2023. This has been such a pleasure. And as we're looking at years in review and just generating gratitude, I'm so, so thankful for those of you who come on here with me, who comment, who share, who share what your reflections are, and also share these episodes with the people you care about. Thank you for all those who bought a book. Thank you for everyone who's come to a sanctuary experience. Thank you for those of you who came to a day of healing, safe touch, who experienced Reclaim as a mini class. Guys, this has been just such an amazing year. It's been such an amazing year. And I'm so thankful to have you as Choose Life Nation to walk alongside. The best is yet to come. There's so many exciting things coming up in 2024 that we get to experience together. And I'm so excited to do it. Until next time, I'm so thankful. So thankful. Till next time, everyone, choose life.